You know when you walk past a car on your street and think, has that thing moved at all this year? It's a really common sight all across the UK, and figuring out what to do about it can be, well, a bit tricky. In this guide, which has been put together by the expert tax advisors at ProTax Accountant, we're going to walk you through exactly how to report a car with no tax, step by step.
We've all seen it, right? That one car on the road gathering a bit of dust. Maybe one of the tires is looking a little soft. You see it every morning, every evening, and it just never moves. It really makes you wonder, is it just forgotten about? Or is it a sign of something you should actually be concerned about?
Yeah, a car like this one can so quickly become part of the local scenery, you know? Just another little eyesore you get used to. But while it might seem pretty harmless, the really big question is it actually legal to just leave it there? And the answer, more often than not, is a firm no. It's a problem that affects whole communities, from residents right through to local businesses.
So let's break this down a bit. How can you tell if it's just a parked car or if it's a genuine problem? Well, under UK law, the rule is actually very simple. Any vehicle that is kept on a public road must be taxed. An untaxed car isn't just about some forgotten paperwork. It's often a red flag for much bigger issues, like having no insurance or no valid MOT, and that poses a real risk to everyone.
And believe me, the consequences for the owner are serious. This isn't just a little slap on the wrist. Failing to tax a vehicle on a public road can lead to a fine of up to £1,000. That is a huge penalty, and it shows just how seriously the authorities take this. But you'll definitely want to hear this next part, because this is where things get complicated and where most people get caught out.
Right, this brings us to the biggest area of confusion out there, the SORN. That's the statutory off-road notification. So many owners think they're following the rules by declaring their car off-road, but they often make one critical and very costly mistake. In fact, let's have a look at what one motorist had to say after they got hit with a fine. It perfectly highlights this common trap.
So what even is a SORN? Well, the name kinda says it all. Statutory Off-Road Notification. It's an official declaration you make to the DVLA, that's the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, telling them your vehicle is not being kept or used on a public road. Once you've done that, you can legally stop paying tax and insurance. But, and this is the crucial bit, there are very, very strict conditions about where that car can be kept.
Just listen to this from a motorist who was fined. They said, "The wording is confusing. A car park is clearly not a road." See? They thought they were in the clear, but still ended up with a £100 fine, which could have been way worse. This catches so many people out, and it just perfectly shows that common misunderstanding of what off-road actually means in the eyes of the law.
Okay, let's make this really simple. A SORN vehicle must be kept on truly private land. We're talking about your own driveway, inside your garage, or on private land you own or have permission to use. It absolutely cannot be kept on what's considered public land, and that includes the road itself, the pavement, and critically, council-owned or public access car parks, even if it's the residence car park for your block of flats. That is the key difference.
Right, let's just quickly bust a few more common SORN myths to make sure we're all crystal clear. Myth number 1, you have to renew it every year. Nope, that's false. It lasts until the car is taxed or sold. Myth 2, you can't drive it at all. Also false. You can drive it to a pre-booked MOT test as long as it's insured for that journey. And finally, just to hammer the point home, the pavement is part of the public highway, which makes it a definite no-go area.
Okay, so you've identified a car you suspect is untaxed, you understand the SORN rules, and you're ready to do something about it. But just hold on a second. Before you actually make that report, there are a couple of crucial steps you need to take to make sure your report is effective and you're not wasting your time or the authorities. The very first thing you need to do is an official check. The DVLA has a free, instant online tool where you just pop in the vehicle's registration number. The result tells you everything you need to know. If it says taxed, then there's no issue. But if it comes back as untaxed or as SORN, and that car is parked on a public road, then you have grounds to make a report. It's a simple check that stops any false alarms. Next up, gather your evidence. The more detail you can give, the faster the authorities can act. You'll need the registration number, the make, model, and color, and the exact location. Be really specific with the street name and postcode. Make a note of the date and time, and if it's safe to do so, try to take a couple of clear photos. All this information is absolutely vital for building a strong report.
And here's a fantastic pro tip for you straight from the experts at ProTax Accountant. Always screenshot the result from the DVLA tax check. It's free, it's instant, and it gives you concrete proof to back up your report from the very beginning. It's such a simple step, but it makes your report so much stronger.
So, you've done your homework, you've confirmed the status, you've got your evidence. Now for the big question, who do you actually report it to? This is another one of those areas where people can get a bit confused because it isn't always the same authority.
Getting this right is so important, so let's break it down. If the issue is simply that the car is untaxed or it's a SORN vehicle on a public road, you report it directly to the DVLA. If the car looks abandoned, it's damaged, has flat tires, looks wrecked, that's a job for your local council. But if the vehicle is causing an immediate danger, say it's blocking a blind corner, you should call the police on their 101 non-emergency number. Reporting to the right people is the key to getting it sorted quickly.
Now, a really quick but very important point. A lot of people hesitate to report things like this because they worry about getting into disputes with neighbors or other repercussions. You really don't need to worry. When you report an untaxed vehicle to the DVLA online, the whole process is completely anonymous. The owner is never told who reported them. It's a safe and secure process.
So, you've submitted your detailed, anonymous report to the correct authority. What happens now? Well, let's walk through the typical enforcement process so you know what to expect. It's not always instant, but there is a clear chain of events that gets set in motion. Okay, so once your report is received, it will be investigated. Often within just a few days, you might see an official notice or maybe a yellow sticker appear on the car's windscreen. This is the official warning. The owner then has a notice period, usually about 7 days for a car on the highway or 15 on private land, to sort out the tax or move the vehicle. If they don't act, the consequences get more serious: clamping, a fine, and eventual removal. And let's just look at the cost of ignoring those warnings. It usually starts with an initial fine, maybe around £100. If that's not paid and it goes to court, the penalty can shoot up to a maximum of £1,000 just for being untaxed. And look at this. If you're actually caught driving a SORN vehicle on a public road for any reason other than a pre-booked MOT, the fine can be up to a whopping £2,500. These financial penalties are designed to be a serious deterrent.
And in the most extreme cases of abandonment, well, this is the end of the road. Vehicles that are just left to rot can become targets for vandalism or even arson. Councils have the power to remove and destroy them. A vehicle becoming untaxed is often the very first step on this path to becoming a dangerous wreck that can blight a whole neighborhood. So we've covered the problem, the common SORN pitfalls, and the exact steps for reporting an untaxed vehicle. Let's just quickly recap the most important points to remember so you know exactly what to do next time you spot that car that never seems to move.
All right, here are the crucial points. 1. Always check the tax status on the DVLA website before you do anything else. 2. Remember that golden rule of SORN: it must be on genuinely private land. 3. Gather good, clear evidence to make your report effective. 4. Report it to the right authority for the specific problem. And 5. You can rest assured that the official reporting process is safe and completely anonymous.
Now, it's really important for me to state this clearly. The information we've talked about today is for general guidance. It's designed to help you understand the process, but it shouldn't be relied on as formal legal or financial advice. For your specific situation, it's always best to seek professional guidance. And for that expert advice, you can get in touch with the team at Pro Tax Accountant directly. You can reach them on WhatsApp or by phone at 07985 689 912, or just email them at info@protaxaccountant.co.uk. For a full written version of this guide, you can read their blog post on the topic, and for more helpful guides just like this one, make sure you subscribe to their YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.